Hello you guys, and welcome to today's video where I am finally trying out an eyeshadow palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics, and I am so excited because I have the new Dollhouse palette that she recently launched and I cannot wait to see how this formula is. I've heard amazing things about the Surge palette and the Blends palette, so this is her most recent one and I'm going to be testing it out. If you didn't know, I have a goal for 2022 here on my channel where at least once a month I try a new to me small indie brand and I feature them, I play with the products, I see how I like them, and I am just buzzing, I'm beaming, I'm so excited to get my hands on some of these brands that I've never used before, and that a lot of them have a lot of hype around them, and I can't wait to test them out and see. This one in particular, this brand has a lot of hype, and the reason why I actually wanted to feature them as my first brand of the year is because they went that whole extra mile to actually get Leaping Bunny certified, which is one of the hardest certifications to get when it comes to cruelty-free status and makeup. And I just think that is so awesome. If a small indie brand can do it, what is going on with all of these other major brands that can't get it together? Oh, it's so frustrating. So a huge shout out to Blend Bunny Cosmetics for going that extra mile. I think it is so cool, so amazing, and I cannot wait to try out the formula and see how it all goes. And by the way, if you are new to my channel in my face, my name is ashleyellix. So nice to meet you. If you want to subscribe so you don't miss out on the future small indie brands I will be featuring this year, make sure to do that. You can also follow me over on Instagram and TikTok where I do kind of more silly kind of makeup memes and makeup reels and just kind of have fun with it. So follow me over there, come say hi and check it out. But I'm ready to dive into this palette and do a couple looks for you guys and see how they go. I really am curious about that row that like everything is dark, and like I want to see when you play with it how similar are the tones, you know? So I can't wait to do all of that. If you're just as excited with me and you want to see this palette, then you know what to do. Sit back, hang tight, keep on watching. Boop! Here's a nice little shot for you guys. You can see what that palette is looking like. Outer carton looks the same as the inside. There is a little protective sleeve in there. And this is the palette. So this is very neutral compared to her other two, Surge and Blend. And I just think it is absolutely stunning. There's a nice little tone. That was my finger that did that just now, by the way. But it's nice that each row kind of has a different tone to it. So I won't get bored from this palette. It is really beautiful, and I almost think it's more beautiful in real life than it is in pictures. And it's also really nice how they decided to organize it. You have the 3 rows right there that are all matte, and then on the top and the bottom you have your textured shadows. So I'm not sure yet what is going to be the texture of each one, if there's a mix of duochromes and shimmers, but we are going to test it out and see. You see that row? That's the row that I'm talking about. Like, how different do those all look? You can see I'm just in natural lighting right now, and you can see they actually look pretty different. Some of the pictures they did all just look black, but that does look pretty different. Oh my goodness. I'm zooming you in, but I need to knock you down a little bit. Sorry, hang on. I'm going to do some swatches in a minute, but I did want to mention that with small indie brands, sometimes shipping can take quite a bit of time, but I was so impressed with how quickly this shipped out. Like, I placed my order, and then that morning when it launched, by the afternoon, I already had the shipping confirmation. Like, I think there's a label printed, hadn't shipped out yet, but I got the palette within a few days. I'm not sure where they're located. I'm in Southern California, but it was really fast. I was expecting to get it in like 2 weeks because small indie brands, like, you know, they only have so much manpower. So that was really impressive. I don't know if that's typical of this brand, but I just thought it was really cool. So this palette is retailing for $45 USD, and I wanted to compare it to the ColourPop size because that to me is like the closest in comparison. So I have the ColourPop Your Golden palette. The Dollhouse palette is a little bit bigger in size wise. So in case you have one of these big palettes at home, you know that that's a tiny bit bigger. There you go. You can see that, not too much. And then the shadows are a tiny bit bigger too of that, but you both get 30. You get 30 pans per each one, and the ColourPop one normally retails for $34. So there is a little bit of price difference in that. This one is a much smaller indie brand. I don't think ColourPop is even considered indie anymore because they have like a bunch of different brands that they house at their labs. So yeah, I don't know, that one looks massive. So oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's just a totally different beast, but just size-wise, in case you wanted to know for your collection, I thought that was important because that was kind of the vibe that I got when I saw this. It's like, oh, it kind of reminds me of those mega palettes from ColourPop because they have all those neutral ones. It's crazy. This is like their more neutral palette, but looking at it in person, like, you definitely have pops of color, and you're not going to be stuck. You know, you can create a lot of looks with it, I think. I think. But let's start playing because that is what I'm most excited about, quite frankly. I'll do some swatches. Wait. Recenter myself. Hang on. I'm too excited. Let me do a couple swatches for you guys. I really want to see how that row compares, and then we'll get to playing. Ooh, there is a nice big old mirror in this palette. I don't think the other two that they have this big old mirror in it. I can't wait to get my hands on the Surge and the Blend because I'm going to be trying out at least 12 new brands this year. It took everything in me not to order the other two palettes that she has, but we'll see how this one goes. I watched a bunch of people's like top favorites this year, and I want to say the blends was like everybody's top favorite. It was in their top 5 at least, if not #1 most of the time. I know Amy Loves Makeup and also Bad to the Brow. They both had it in their tops. So I gotta try it, but I try to reel myself in. I'm so excited about makeup, but I can only try it so many things. I don't want to be wasteful. Okay, so what I'm going to do, what I just decided, is I'm going to work off of this row right here. Well, let me point to this row right here, and I'm going to kind of compare it in a way to this row. This one has like a khaki green kind of undertone to it, which is really cool, and then this one is more of like your true neutral, but it's where these like darker tones come into play that it's like, how different are they? I really want to do this purple row, but it's taking everything in me not to do a colorful look for you guys because it's like a more neutrally palette. But just know that just off of looking at this in person, you can definitely create some colorful looks, which is really cool. It's a really cool palette, and I think I'm predicting a good travel palette for somebody like me who sometimes, a lot of times I do wear neutrals, but a lot more times I wear colors. You know, so I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to go in with Pose first, and I'm going to be building that up onto this side of my eye, my face. That is a nice traditional basic blending type of shade, but even so, I'm already seeing some pigment in there, which is really good. And then I get a blending brush with that same shade and just blend it. Wow. Very pretty. Next, I'm going to go in with Figure, which is that really khaki color. Same brush, I just cleaned it off, and I'm going to be placing it onto this side. Ooh, total khaki moment. That's laying down really nice already. Now I'm going to take that fluffy brush and just get that blend going, baby. Wow, you can really see the difference when it's on the eye. That one is definitely more of a mauvey nude as opposed to the khaki nude side. Really cool. Going back to that first brush I was using, it's just more of like, this is the Luxie. A lot of people got this on in BoxyCharm or something at one point. I purchased these myself because I loved how small they were. And it's like round. Oh, I'm just remembering, I think that Blend Bunny has some killer brushes that are like these small ones. So I need to get that next time. Yeah, I need to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to go into Vintage, which is just one shade deeper on this row. Ooh, well, that's pretty. Huh, that's not really taking too much effort at all, is it? And then I need to go in with a smaller brush so I can start using the deep shades. Okay, so now I'm going to go into Madame, and that's the deep dark shade in that khaki row, and I'm going to start laying it down. I really want to see now how different that is. These are pretty basic looks that I'm doing. It's really just seeing, can they play nice together? How different do these all look? That is, wow, really pigmented. Holy smokes. Okay. Okay, to lay that down, and then I'm gonna blend it out with Figure. While I'm on this eye, I'm just gonna go in with Madame and just do the outer corner right here. It is like crazy pigmented, so just be very thoughtful of where you're placing everything. And then I'm just going to make sure to blend that so it's not like an obvious line. Okay, gonna clean off those brushes, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye, just with that shade. That row, obviously. Okay, so here's the two looks so far, which things are about to really change because I'm gonna use the shimmers, but just so you could see the mattes, like they do, I mean, they definitely look very different in tone because of the base kind of colors that I was using. And to me, I honestly can see the difference in the black tones that I used because, or like, you know, super, super, super deep tones, because this one almost has more of a purpley vibe, even if you take away the blend. Just the undertone on, what is it? Silhouette just has kind of a slight, I don't know what, it's like it's really nice. And, but in comparison, because it's almost like a black, but it's not, it almost has this, I don't even know, but it really picks up and blends really nicely with those neutral tones that I use. But it's funny, these neutral tones that I use lean very purpley. Very interesting. And then the black that I use, or the dark shade I use on here, is more of a chocolate brown, like a very, very rich, dark chocolate brown. So I personally see the difference. If you don't look at the blend, I see it's very minute, but it's in a way that it really cooperates and enhances the color stories that they're a part of. It's almost like having a bunch of color pops, you know, all into one palette that, like, you know, they have their 5-pan color stories and stuff. So I'm really liking that so far. But let's get to my favorite part, which is shimmers. I'm again resisting the urge to use all the colors because I want to keep it neutral for you guys. And on this side, that's kind of my khaki green, I want to use this shade. And I'm just going to use it with my fingers because that's what I tend to do anyways. That is a beautiful metallic shade. Oh my goodness. And I'm just going to pop it on. Oh, holy guacamole. You see that? Let's pop it right here. And I'm trying to use as many shades as possible for you guys. Oh, that is so pretty. So let me take, I guess in the same row, let me try, oh no. Let's go in with Tulle. That one looks really shifty and really pretty. Take that on my pinky and do the inner corner with that. Ooh, that one had a little bit of fallout, I felt. That's okay. Yeah, that one's a little bit chunkier almost. The first one was more of a smooth metallic, but this one has some really cool shifts in it that's pairing very interestingly with that green. And then on my inner corner, I'm gonna go in with lace and just pat that in. I really like that. That is gorgeous. Oh, those metallics are so yummy. They're so yummy, so creamy. On the other side, so the shade in that one is Dressed Up. That might be too dark for what I'm looking for. That's interesting. That's like a creamy, ooh, creamy plum. Okay, let's just put some on. Why not? These are always playful. Okay, that's fun. That's fun. It's not what I'm gonna go for, but that's cool nonetheless. It's like a rich, creamy, matte, shimmery, but not like one of those mattes with the flakes in it. It's just, that's a really cool hybrid almost. Okay, but let's go more bold, okay? I think I want to use the purple. I'm going to use the purple. I'm going to use the purple. I'll give you one good colorful look. Look at that. Okay, that's really cool. Let's pop that on top. Ooh. And it's going right over that almost black metallic. That is really, really pretty. And then on the inner corner on that one, I'm going to go in with Pretend. You know I got to use that one. You know I got to use that shimmer. Oh, you know I got to. Ooh, yeah. Oh, wow. Ooh. And then to keep it cohesive as much as possible, I'm going to go in with Lace. Oh, yes. On the lower lash line, let me just pop in the coordinating shades. So basically the same shades, but smaller. And then I'm going to go in. I'm going to go ahead and do all my lashes and everything, and I'll give you my final thoughts and show you the look and all of that, okay? I'm so excited. Okay, finished look. I didn't go with false lashes today because I really wanted the eyeshadow to kind of speak for themselves and you'd be able to really see the shimmer, and I got slightly hooded eyes, so it would kind of disappear. But I know, who is she not wearing false lashes? But I wanted you guys to see everything. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm really obsessed with how these turned out. I gotta be honest with you guys, I almost passed on this palette because I don't know. I don't know if this surprises you, but I tend to be a pretty colorful gal myself. Okay, no surprise. I don't do a lot of neutral looks. So when I saw this palette, I was like, that's beautiful. I really want to try this brand, but I don't know. Like, do I need another neutral palette in my collection? Here's the thing. ColourPop really surprised me with how much I liked the Your Golden palette. And I almost didn't get this one. And it ended up being one of my favorites of this last year. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it because what if? And you know what? I'm so glad I did. Who this palette I think would be good for is, let's say you're like me and you like a lot of color, but you want to get some neutrals going. This palette seems off of first impressions to be good for that. You can still play with color, but get your neutral look in there. Like, I love how khaki neutral this is and almost leaned a little bit green with that shimmers. So with that said, if you're used to doing neutral looks and that's like your safe zone, I feel like this would be a fun palette to play around with and get you a little bit of taste of color going. And then you have a couple options to like really bring the color on, like this kind of purple look that it ended up being, which I could shift it to that. So that was really cool. I'm really enjoying how everything is laid out. It just makes it so easy. And again, beginner friendly, I think, because you have, okay, that row right there, boom, those are all gonna go beautifully together. That darker row, they really complement the rest of the shades. I love how the finishes do vary within these kind of metallic-y formulas, like this Pretend shade that I used. It's a really cool transformative kind of topper, which I think will really elevate some of these looks. I mean, I'm blown away. Guys, this little palette is a little deceiving. This big old palette is a little deceiving, honestly. There's just there's so many options. Ooh, so much more than just a neutral palette. Case closed. Okay, make sure you subscribe before you go. I think that's all I got for today. If you want to see any other looks of this palette, let me know and I'll do some more short form content over on Instagram and TikTok. So follow me over there at ashleyellix. Definitely subscribe so you don't miss out on next month's small indie brand, which is TBD. I have an idea of exactly the one I want, but I don't think I'm going to get it in time. So I need to have a backup plan. I need to order something, so I make sure I have that in February, because I think the February one I wanted to do, I'll have to do in March, but we'll see. So, okay, I gotta go. I will see you guys next time. Bye.